Okay. Are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
Nice. This is the 505 podcast with Joni and Angel.
Hey, what's up?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Take it.
I finally got you on a podcast. Too bad it's not one that I do more frequently. The other ones that I do. Remember, I always ask you to come be a guest on my podcast. And then you're just like, no.
Well, now we started our own podcast.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
So now we have a podcast that we can talk about anything that we want.
Yay.
Winning.
Win. It's a win. All right.
So how you doing?
Good. It's episode 3, and it's
episode 3, day 23rd.
I want to say
22nd.
I want to say 23rd or 24th.
It's
day.
one of those days where we're still stuck. We're still quarantined. We're still on
But is it that bad anymore? It's like I think everybody's gotten just used to it now.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, we didn't go out today, but I would assume that it has drastically slowed, but I don't know to what extent. It'll be more like when we went to the market the other day, everything seemed okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people weren't going crazy unless you got a little too close.
Yeah.
That's when. But other than that, it was nothing. It seemed like things are like nice and slow. Nothing crazy going on.
Also, we've actually taken the steps to just not take in any news stories.
Well, that was me, because every time I wake up, you're watching the news, and I'm like, all right, let's put something else. Come on, it's time to put something else on. We cannot be watching this every single day.
I'm a news junkie.
I understand that you're a news junkie, but considering the fact that every day is the same news, there are no changes.
Except the numbers.
Except the numbers
get increased.
And then you get it on your phone on top of that. So,
oh my God.
I mean, what's
What more can
you want? You know, if you don't get it on by media, well, it is everything is media now. But if you don't get it by your TV news source, you're gonna get it on your phone, and then you're gonna be like, "Hey, babe, did you see this? They said."
Are you talking about the fact that I told you that there was a tiger that tested positive for corona?
Yeah, and then my phone told me 2 hours later, and I'm like, why is my phone home late? It's like, isn't that crazy? A tiger? Well, it's not crazy, because apparently all this bullshit came out from another animal or another mammal.
It's the first case of the human to animal contact, but COVID started by animal to human contact.
Wow.
That's one of the
theories. Nobody really knows. Everybody's going berserker as to
I believe that's how it started.
It's possible. I mean, we've had this discussion plenty of times. It could have been. It could be anything. I just don't agree that it was the 5G network, the 5G antenna setup.
Nobody.
That's just come on. I mean,
nobody worth their.
It was before said that if you have your phone to your head, you're gonna get cancer. All right. If you tell me some shit like that you're like, yeah, you're gonna get some brain aneurysm of some kind or some cerebral hemorrhage. Yeah, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Sure, but you're gonna catch a disease from a signal? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, that's a little too far-fetched even for me. And 5G's been around for a minute, so why?
Well, it hasn't been around for a minute. It's like the startup. Remember when it was 3G and then they were trying to sell you on the 4G and it wasn't quite there yet, but it was like a progression.
Yeah.
So it's it was like, okay, so we got 3.5G now, but we're selling it as 4G, and we're not quite there. And then finally they're here now.
In the words of Ozzy Osbourne, how many G's are there?
I don't know.
Cause I'm ready. I'm waiting for 6G.
Why are you waiting for 6G?
I don't know, because everybody's talking about the 5G, so I might as well wait on the 6G.
The only 5G is probably through an Ethernet service, maybe that.
I don't know,
maybe
but
that's the 5G.
yeah. So a tiger caught it. Can you pull up the story to see how it happened? I think it was just that.
See.
I'm pretty sure one of the tiger handlers at the Bronx Zoo. They were infected.
Tiger at Bronx Zoo.
There it goes. And apparently, it says careers.
Catches a career, yeah.
I want a job. I'm applying to be a tiger at the Bronx Zoo. Hey, it's a career. It's listed in Google.
Tiger tests positive for coronavirus at Bronx Zoo. First
Mhm.
known case in the world.
So it's the
This is from the National Geographic before.
Ew Fox Company.
Well, at least it's a legitimate company.
So, it's the first time, to our knowledge, that a wild animal has gotten sick from COVID-19 from a person, and that's from Paul Callier, the chief veterinarian for the Bronx Zoo. So it's a Malayan tiger named Nadia. She contracted the coronavirus from an infective but unknown asymptomatic zookeeper. There you go.
Ah, there you go. So it's from person to animal. But that's the thing. Like, all right. So how many like people? Some of these people have dogs and cats. How do we not know that like people?
Well, that's become the next set of questions. Because
But they said overseas some dogs were
yeah, it's
infected.
right here. Several domestic animals have previously been tested for the SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, and that includes a Pomeranian and a German Shepherd in Hong Kong, and a domestic cat in Belgium. So,
All I keep thinking about is Pomeranian is when he takes out his tongue.
oh yeah, Angel is obsessed with this.
The fluffy Pomeranian.
Yeah, he's obsessed with these like animal grooming videos on YouTube.
They're adorable.
And there's one with a black Pomeranian, and after the Pomeranian's done, it tilts its head back and forth, and it sticks its tongue out and almost winks at you.
Yeah, come on, it's adorable. It makes your day.
Would you get that dog?
No, I wouldn't get the dog, but the video makes my day.
So what if one day you get that very dog and it just looks at you and it goes, ah.
I'll just be like, you got coronavirus.
No, it don't.
He's got cognac 2019.
He's got cognac 2019. Oh God. So apparently, it could be that it's transmitting back into animals. So it started. So if we go by the animal to human theory,
Right.
it's jumping back to humans.
Okay, so
Back
far,
to animals.
all right. So far, we know that it's a possibility
Mhm.
that it's not what's that called? The one is in the air.
Stars.
No, when it's in the air, like
What's in the air?
shit, I forgot the wording. Like
Airborne.
Airborne. How do we know it's not like keep asking myself, like, how do we know it's not an airborne virus? So it's possible that it isn't.
The only
It
thing
was
is
from a
that
zookeeper to a tiger.
The only thing is that they said that that COVID-19, it stays in the air for 3 hours.
Yeah, it stays in the air for 3 hours, but we also have wind. It's just because it stays in the air for 3 hours. First of all, when wind is pushing air weighs a pound.
Right.
So it weighs a pound. So you're moving a pound of whatever that virus is in whichever direction. So it can go anywhere. So that, in a way, wouldn't you think that that's already an airborne virus?
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I really, really don't.
I mean, because you got the 6 foot separation, but
People walk into that 6 foot separation all the time.
you know how many people I don't know about you, but I bumped into at least 3 people when we were at the market the other day when we went out. So
Well, I'm playing tag with people at the market. Like, can't catch me, can't catch me. Back up, can't catch me. It depends on the age. I mean, the younger crowd. I have not seen anybody in our age group in the streets. It's usually older people.
yeah, no, I haven't seen anybody in our age group either.
Yeah.
I
just
don't know what they're
realized that.
doing. I mean, listen.
Everybody's watching Tiger King.
Probably. So everybody's trying to figure out if Carol did it or not, which she did. But
We're all investigating it together.
Yeah.
The cops need something to do.
Well, they kind of had some action yesterday with
with
the
the
kids,
teenage,
so
yeah.
that gave them something to do.
But like I was saying, so a tiger at the zoo caught it. So I don't know what this means. I guess it means it can jump back and forth between humans and animals.
Well, I mean, animals sneeze, they burp.
Have you ever seen a dog sneeze? It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, I've seen a dog sneeze, but
They
that's
go,
what I'm saying.
It's so cute. It's like, key.
But that's what I'm saying. They choke on stuff. They sneeze. They cough.
Hmm.
You know. So, and that's just a normal day. So how how's it possible that they're not gonna catch it? They breathe. They bleed.
They're animals. I was about to say they're humans.
They
They're humans.
they have a heart.
They're new
They have a
humans.
brain. It's just they don't have hearts and brains like we do.
Yeah. So, she was tested for the virus on April 2nd, and apparently she has it. She also has like sisters, including 2 Siberian tigers and 3 African lions, who have also had coughs and a loss of appetite, but they haven't been tested. So chances are she's already spread. So chances are Nadia the tiger has already spread it to her family.
So how do they test the animal? I wonder. Like, is it the same way as they test a human?
I guess they stick that long ass cotton swab up your nose. I don't know. All they know is that she started to show symptoms, and the veterinary team did a number of diagnostic tests and blood work. So I guess they figured since the zookeeper caught it, and probably the zookeeper was in constant contact with her,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, she's also coughing and, showing symptoms, so let's test her out, and then it just came out positive.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah,
I mean, it's not crazy. It's a given, but it's like,
yeah, but hopefully, I think I was talking to my mom about this earlier, and it seemed like what I hope they did was like if there are any like tiger kittens or any sort of cubs or kittens lying
Yeah,
around in the
yeah.
zoo, hopefully they took them out, because if all of these big cats they get it and they all get sick and if they pass on, like so you're gonna lose like a lot of, they're already endangered. So it could be it could,
what, tigers?
I don't know.
No,
It's
I
like
think Siberian tigers are endangered.
Malaysian tigers are okay. I just
I could be wrong.
I just think that I hope they separated the offspring.
Yeah.
I hope they did, so that way they can monitor the adults to make sure everything's fine. Just in case something were to happen, you can at least keep the bloodline going.
But how do they keep them 6 feet away from each other?
They can't keep them 6 feet. They put them in separate cages. Maybe they have to set up separate cages from them. But they'll still come together at the meeting point of the cage.
Right.
To like communicate with each other. So it's just
By their stripes?
I don't know. It's just not realistic, is it?
It's not realistic.
I mean, this whole 6 feet thing is not realistic. And I don't know. Next topic. Speaking of offspring, so people are having the babies, in the middle of this crisis. So if you are one of those people that are pregnant or you're giving birth, we hope that you are safe and well. However, if you have children, please do not name them COVID. Do not name them Corona, please, because
What's wrong with naming them Corona?
because there's a couple that already
Rona.
did it.
Like Rona, like Ramona. It's like, oh, Rona, what's up?
Okay, that's fine. Rona is fine.
Ramona.
Ramona.
You know, not for nothing, but I feel like this is the new joke for Ramona. Like, it'd
Hey,
be like,
Rona.
hey, Mona, you're such a Mona, and now it's like Rona.
Hey,
You're
Rona.
Rona, COVID, Rona, COVID, Rona. I don't know where I was going though.
No, you don't. I was just gonna let you drive that car. So yeah, a pair, like, I don't know where's the couple from?
Where is the couple from? Let's see.
Like, so you have a pair of twins that were just born. Yay.
Couple name newborn. COVID or Corona?
One is named COVID,
COVID
and the other one's
Corona?
named Corona. Because people want to be extra.
India newborn twins named Corona and COVID after
India?
virus.
In India,
that's
no.
kind of crazy.
That explains a lot.
Like they were like, oh, we don't care.
We are going to be trendy.
A couple in India's central state of, damn, I can't read that shit. Chhattisgarh have
Chhattisgarh. I butchered that. I'm
have
sorry.
named their newborn twins Corona and COVID amid the country's nationwide lockdown brought on by the coronavirus.
They're fraternal
pandemic.
twins, a boy and a girl, and they were born at a government hospital in the state of Raipur on March 27, 2 days after the lockdown came into force. The couple said that the names would remind them about the hardships they faced during the lockdown and before the very
But
successful delivery in a government hospital
but
last
why
week.
would you want to be reminded by why would you want to be reminded by your blood?
Why would you want to name your kid after pandemics?
Like it's like
Disease.
it's like hey, you come in and you're like, yeah, my name is COVID, and it's like, oh God, are you named after what happened during the virus
Are
where
you
everybody
named
was
after what
just
happened in
dying?
2020?
So you
Yeah.
guys are responsible for the death of like nearly 300,000 people.
That's another thing. I mean, um oh, so like don't worry. We're not the only people that are sitting here like what is wrong with you? Apparently the couple said that there was pressure from family elders that they could change their decision later and rename their children.
See, I thought this happened here. I didn't think it happened in India.
Yeah, you figured it was one of
It,
those
it
like
makes because it makes sense.
really trendy like gentrifiers or
Yeah,
something.
because it makes
I'm gonna name
sense.
my kid COVID. It's gonna be ironic.
Like that lady. I think it was in Arkansas or what is it? Arkansas or Arkansas?
Ar-
Where she said that I think I could be wrong, but she said that she wanted to name her kid Facebook, and the
yeah, she did.
a judge stepped in and was like, fuck that, no.
No. Or like people like there was somebody that named their like some neo-Nazi named their kid Adolf Hitler.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about this like a new level of bullying. Like, you know, how do I avoid my kids but getting bullied? Oh, I know. I'm gonna call them COVID and Corona.
I'm gonna
Bingo.
make sure they get
Booyah.
beat up. I'm gonna make sure they get
Well, no,
beat
I'm
up.
talking about like them being the bullied.
Oh.
Oh no, make sure they get beat up so that they grow tough, like the A Boy Named Sue, the
Yeah.
Johnny Cash song.
Oh.
Yeah.
But wait, here's my question. So people have been like forever wanting us to like drop some offspring on this planet.
Yeah, it's
real
not
quick.
happening.
Not now. Well, we put a whole kibosh on that because we was like, we're not doing this.
It's not
First,
happening.
it was because it's the Trump
Well,
presidency.
I mean,
Now it's because of
yeah,
this.
sure, okay, but in 9 months there will be like the
How
Corona
many?
babies.
We're gonna be
There'll-
overrun with
It'll be
Capricorns.
the
It's not
Corona
even gonna be
babies.
funny.
Which, by the way, you need to start up that what's that thing called?
The what?
When you're when you can be a nurse.
Doulas, midwives.
Yeah, you could be a midwife. You should get a class on midwife on how to become a midwife that way. Because they're gonna run out of space in the hospital. That's gonna be
People are gonna do a lot of home births.
This is gonna be the second pandemic of this year where there's gonna be so many births happening in 9 months.
Yep.
Where the hospitals are just gonna run out of space. They're gonna run out of room. They're probably gonna have to. They're probably like just to make it like more recognizable. They're gonna be like, we gotta put them 6 feet apart.
Or they're gonna start if this continues on and they continue on with this stay-at-home order, there's gonna be a lot of babies that are gonna be born at home. So yeah,
you gotta get that midwife thing going.
you gotta get that too.
Get some money out of that. That's gonna be fucking awesome. I mean,
That's
people are just gonna be like, well, the hospital's full, so we might as well have home birth, and they have the home birth, and they're good to go.
Hey, and you could start up your photography business where you do at home.
There you go.
Where
See?
you film at home births.
Midwife / photography. Look at that.
Look at that. We'll
Look
be
at
like
that. We're working here. Ah, yeah, winning.
one-stop shop. We're a one-stop company.
Look at this.
I wish I had gone into like nursing for a little bit, but I didn't. I don't know. I have to look into it.
Isn't there like an online nursing thing?
I don't know. I mean, I could try for it. Would you pay the tuition?
Huh?
Huh? Huh? Okay, Little John. Huh? Was that Little John? No.
Yeah.
So
No?
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would want to name my kids after illnesses. It's bad enough like when we were coming up, like people were like, remember how it's like I said if we were gonna have a daughter, we would name her Susudio, and everybody was like,
oh
no.
Lord, don't start with that. That was just horrifying.
There's like a concerted plan.
I would divorce you so fast.
You wouldn't know until after the.
How would I not know? I have to I will have to sign. I will have to sign and be like, wait, what the hell is this? This isn't happening. Nope, this is not happening.
This is the wrong birth certificate.
If this is not changed, I'm done. We're done here.
There's a concerted effort to make sure the child does not leave the hospital with the name of the studio. It'll be a concerted
Yeah, and then
effort.
they're gonna go to school and they're gonna like studio.
That'd be dope. They'd be named after a song. They'd be named after a song.
No, it's not though, because then comes these stories. It's like, were your parents having sex to the song Studio, and then they decided right then and there that they're gonna name you Studio. Oh, and then it's like, what's the line that oh, run away, oh, Studio. Then they're gonna start doing that. Why would you want that?
She walks in the room. Everybody goes, wait, what's the lyric?
That's what I'm saying. I forgot what the lyric is. Like,
this is bad.
and then like, and then like she starts dating some guy, and then like his friends start going like, does she go like, and then you go studio? No, you don't. You guys don't do that.
You're thinking way too far ahead. Meanwhile,
I'm thinking way too far ahead. You're the one talking about you're naming your kid to Studio.
Meanwhile,
how is that not thinking far ahead?
I know you're not. Meanwhile, didn't you have how many angels were in your class when you were in school?
Not one.
You were always the only angel.
Not in class.
But in the
school. In the school they were playing, but not in class.
So you would be the only angel in your class.
Yeah.
But you get into the schoolyard, if somebody else angel,
there'll be like
20 of you will be like, what? Huh?
No, not that many.
Like what?
There'll be maybe like 4. It's weird. Like, my name is very common in the Latin community, but when you start like picking on who's who, it's like not really that much. It's weird.
Is it because they're going?
Like, I would say more like it'll be more like Luis is very common. You know, that's a common name. Pedro is a common name. Jose is a very common name. But for some reason, and I went, and you know this, I went to school in the Bronx and it's a very heavy Latin community, but I went to school in one of those schools that like you see in the movies where it's just like, oh, the white teacher has to show up.
Like the Dangerous Mind.
like the Dangerous Mind. So I went to one of those schools, right?
Yeah.
And there was maybe 2 other angels.
In the whole school?
In the whole school.
So you'd be one of 3?
Yeah, and it was mostly like Jose was like, forget it.
7, like
Jose was like John.
If you scream Jose in the hallway, 7 people go, what?
In the hallway. And maybe 20 feet apart. You know, once you keep going, you yell it again, you maybe get 20 more.
Oh, God. I don't know. I was always the only Joanne in class. I was always the only Joanne.
Like, it was Jerry, Jose. What was another one that was very common?
Jesus.
Juan. Of course.
Everybody's a Juan.
Jesus, not so much. Jesus was rare.
What about Juanitas? Were there a lot of
Juanita?
Juanitas?
No, not Juanitas.
Really?
Yeah. Jennifers. There were a lot of Jennifers.
Jennifer?
Jennifer was, holy cow. Like, it got to a point where if I met a girl named Jennifer and I was gonna date her, I couldn't.
What's your name? Jennifer.
Oh, fuck you, bitch.
You'd be like, yo, I gotta talk to. I gotta go to Jennifer's house. Which Jennifer?
Jennifer. Which one? The one with the fat ass? They all have fat asses. Which one?
Jennifer with the hair. Oh my God.
They all have hair. The one with the curls. They all have curls.
The one that live on 170th. They all live on. 3 of them live on 170th.
And you know what's funny? Maria?
Not so much.
Maria, it was a very common name, but
Older?
No, but it was more like, I don't know how to say it. Like, it was common, but not so common. Like, for every 10 Jennifers, there were maybe 2 Marias.
Okay.
But maybe I'm wrong.
In my family, it's like Marie is a very common name.
Mm-hmm.
Or like most of my aunts are named Marie.
Yeah.
But they have different names.
Yeah, it's crazy when they change it. It's like Maria, Madonna. Oh no. Let's change it to Marie.
I always said I would consider naming my kid Madonna.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But then I looked into it and I'm like, I don't really know where to go with that.
No.
Call it Madge. Like, call her Madge.
Madge?
Call her, like, that would be her nickname. Madonna Madge. It'd be Madge.
Why Madge? It sounds like Fadge.
I don't know. Like, look it up. It's a nickname. It's a variant.
Why isn't it Donna?
Donna, Maddie,
Maddie,
um,
Mad.
yeah,
Why is it
Mads.
Madge?
I don't know. It
Madge just
just
sounds
is.
weird.
It just is.
Yeah, but the combination of Madge is just vag. It's like, look at that vag. I mean, Madge.
Hey, Vag Madge.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So it's very troubling. I mean, even with my name, people are just like, oh, here comes devil.
Why would they say devil?
Because sometimes I'm cynical. Well, all the time I'm cynical, but
You stay cynical to the point
so
where I'm
what?
just like, how did I even?
How
What?
did you even marry me?
No, yeah.
That's for you to answer.
I don't know.
It's just that I'm that good.
Man, I bought I bought the dress. It was like,
You bought the dress.
I brought the dress. Might as well. He put the
What
ring
you-
on it.
I put the ring on it, and you went like, gotcha, bitch.
No.
Yes.
No, actually, I was not expecting. I thought it was gonna be like at least a year later that you would propose. I didn't think you would do it as soon as you did.
Well, the cat's out of the bag.
Well, we're married now, so there's nothing you can do.
Oh, there's plenty I can do.
No, you can't.
Yes, I
You
can.
Well, the marriage office is closed.
I wasn't talking about that. I meant like dancing.
Oh, okay. All right.
What else we got?
You tell me.
There was the news were indicating that Cuomo mentioned there was possible signs of a
Slow down.
slowdown on like
So have we?
people testing positive.
So it's
the
not
corona.
people dying, but like there's slightly more negative test results.
Yeah, and like also people dying, but like there people died. It's just it's slowed down, not compared to yesterday when it doubled.
Again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the difference. Could it be?
I think I just think people are just said we're just gonna stay home. You know, I feel also that most people are just like, you know what, hospitals are filled, right? The makeshift hospitals are filled. There's some hospitals that are just for hospitals alone.
The
now.
testing, the drive-through testing facilities fill out.
Yeah, but there's some hospitals like the floating hospital is just for people that don't have the coronavirus.
Right.
Like-
But now they're gonna start. No, that's at the Javits Center. They're gonna eke
No,
out.
no,
a
no. The
person-
floating hospital.
Okay.
The Javis Center is part of that, but the floating hospital that just arrived is
Just
to
for
really.
like regular patients.
As far as I'm aware, from what I read, apparently it's for regular patients.
Right.
Like patients that were in the hospital and they need to take them out so that they can make some space for the people that are infected.
Right.
So yeah, and I say this because they were saying that there's only like, it could withstand at least 1,000 patients, and there were only 20 patients
In the whole hospital.
in the whole floating hospital. And that was 2 days ago. But that was 2 days ago. I haven't checked up on it.
I guess it's like they're trying to prioritize like who could go on the boat.
Yes, but I also feel that it depends on like we need to do a test on you first before you go.
True.
And we also need to wait like a couple of days before you go. They probably put them in isolation first, and then they decide to take them there. And that's what's probably taken so long to get the hospital filled up with patients, which I think it's not bad.
It's practical.
It makes sense, you know. So you really can't complain. You really can't analyze things or see them in a different point of view to say, oh, they're slow at that. Well, no, they're taking precautions.
My only issue is the fact that, a lot of this is like so late in the game. It's like, I understand where we're just now playing pickup. We're just now playing catch up.
Like I told
And
you.
I'm glad that we're doing something. It's just that I'm like,
yeah, I mean, we're doing something, but it's still like.
I feel like it's still not enough, and I still feel like we're abandoned. I feel like we're on our own.
We are on our own. Period. We're on our own because now
understand
it's just
it's
all
life.
politics.
Yeah, because it's like the way that I see it. It's like, okay, they asked for 1 million of something, and the Fed will give like what?
Like 1,000.
Yeah.
Not even. All right, let's just to be reasonable. They asked for 1 million. They got like 3,000 of them. You're just like, what?
Yeah, and you're just a fraction of it, and then they're saying that you don't necessarily need that much, and you're just like,
But this is what we're asking for.
how do you know that?
Yeah, I mean, do you have the numbers on you? I mean,
Are you listening to? Are you
when's the deadline? In 2 days?
Actually, yeah, I think it is. Actually, the Surgeon General did come out and say that this is going to be a rough week. This is going to be our Pearl Harbor.
Well, they said that about last. Well, you know what? They said that about last week, and it was true because in less than a week, and by in less than a, Yeah, in less than a week, it went up
It was like
to almost
doubling.
2,000 to almost 200,000.
Yeah.
So it took
We hit a million
it took like
cases.
3 weeks to get to 100,000 cases, and in less than a week after that, it went it went to like 190.
And now we're at a million cases of corona in the
But that's
country.
global. No, that's global.
Is that global?
Yeah, that's global, not in
Oh,
the
okay.
country.
We've hit a million. Okay, how much did we hit in the United States? Like, we're like,
I believe it's 300, over 300.
we are a percentage of that. I think we're like 25% of all.
We're like at 90 something.
Hmm?
We New York?
No, not 90. I mean, like, globally, we are.
Oh, we're the top.
We're number one again.
We're number one.
Again.
We're number one. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I joked about it yesterday, and when they were clapping, when I first heard that people were clapping,
It wasn't for the healthcare
I
workers.
thought,
You
yeah,
figure
I
it
was like,
because we
yeah,
hit
because
number
we're
one.
number one. We're number one.
Well, the jingo some people would be proud of that.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because
Well, look at what's happening with what Fauci is it?
yeah.
The doctor where he's being threatened.
Yeah,
Like,
he needs a
come on,
security
like,
detail
are you
because he has
serious?
death threats. Like, the top guy, he's been there. Fauci's been in office since we were babies. Let's put it this way. Let's put some perspective on it. He's been in there since the Reagan years. And he's getting death threats because he's like, I think it's a good idea to just make sure that everybody socially isolates and everybody stays home so that we can flatten out this damn curve and make sure that, because the faster we get the curve down, the sooner we can open back up and go back to some sort of normalcy. It's perfect logic. And people are like, no, we got to get out. I want to be back in by this Sunday. It's like, I want to be in church on Sunday.
Yeah, but like that's all fine and dandy, but
Then
like,
go to church and then get the COVID.
just to say,
and
all
then
right, I'd
you're
rather
good.
go to church. Just go to church or do whatever the hell you want to do. But
Don't
why
threaten the man.
are you gonna threaten a person that's warning you? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there was like also there's
That's not even like compared to the quote, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you." That doesn't even compare. He's just giving you a warning. Stay home, please. Just do us a favor. We'll still haven't figured it out because they haven't. Nobody has. They just figure out. So far it's just been like a slight curve of a change, but it's like, oh yeah, well, fuck that guy. We're gonna have to kill him.
no. I'm just kind of upset about the fact that they're really like pushing this whole vaccine thing, where I'm like, oh well, this what do you call hydrochlorinone or something like that. I never.
Oh, the one that they're trying to use for as a
They
vaccine.
want to push it so hard, and Fauci is like, that is. Oh well, in these studies out of France and China, it's actually proven to be effective, and Fauci's like, yes, yeah, but they didn't do control groups. They're still in the beginning of testing. Of course, everything's going to be great at the beginning of a test.
I mean, maybe they should just come up with the. I'm sure someone's thought about it, but like maybe
How about
they
an antiviral?
well, maybe they should just say, okay, we got the flu shot. Why don't just like something like an upgrade of that just reduces the impact for now until you find the vaccine.
Right.
Because apparently the vaccine could have been found back when SARS hit. We're talking about years ago. We're talking about what, like 4 years ago? Am I wrong?
No, SARS was like 14 years. It was 2004. So you're talking about 14 years ago. 16 years ago.
Was it? Holy shit. Well, think about it that way. Like, and SARS was quite rough, and they could have found the vaccine for that in the meantime.
But they let it go.
And then they let it go, and then now we're stuck here in this fucking pandemic.
Starting from scratch.
Everybody's gonna start from scratch because everything changed. I'm talking about everything changed.
But what's messed up is just this. I'm just upset about the simple fact that everybody is relying on this vaccine. You got the vaccine.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to cut you off, but
let's be for real. The AIDS vaccine, we're still waiting on that.
Oh, that's never.
There are people are still waiting on that.
That's never gonna happen.
So, like, I'm sorry if I don't have all the faith in the world.
This is good business. This HIV is amazing business. I'm sorry to say.
Sorry.
So the vaccine is never going to happen. absolutely ever.
There is one or two on the market,
I'm sh-
but it's
and I'm
like,
sure and I'm sure and I'm sure back in like the late '80s, somebody came up with a vaccine and was probably killed.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case because it's great for business. And yeah, I'm saying that, and I believe it's great for business because
Like Chris
how many
Rock
people
said, like Chris Rock said, you don't make money on the cure, you make money on the comeback,
or the death.
on the treatment. You
Yeah,
make
and then you just say, yeah, now we got this upgraded stuff so we can use it, and then they say, well, it used to be $10, now it's $20.
thanks,
Boom,
Farmer
winning.
Bro. You're gonna have another Farmer Bro come about and
But
just do something stupid.
where I'm getting at is that like why in the meantime, well yeah, there should be like a group focusing on a vaccine, but there should also be you should have like group A focusing on a vaccine and group B focusing on a reduction, like an upgraded or two upgrades above the flu shot.
Right.
Right? Because
And
this
there
could,
should
like again, this could have been something that they could have found during the SARS.
and there should be a group C looking into antiviral medication.
Yes.
Like let's figure that out.
Yes, because now, let's say, for example, everything slows down. Let's say, for example, after this month, things have drastically slowed down. Are we going to go back to work? No.
No.
No. They still have to make a decision as to what's happening. They still have to figure out. There's still research that they have to do. There's still a lot of shit that has to be figured out. It's not just going to say, oh, you know, we went down in less than a week. No, it's not happening. That's not how it goes. But instead of saying, okay, but oh, okay, here's what I was getting at. As an example, let's just say, hey, we're gonna go back to work, right? And then we're back to work. Now we're completely different people. Now we are at work with mask on. Now we're at work with gloves on. Now we're saying hi to your coworkers from far away. We're not even getting that close.
Well, first, like it's gonna be like we're not even go. Who's to say that we're gonna go back into the office? Like you could go back.
And
to
how many people are going to go back into the office? Because again, we have conspiracy theories. It's just like, fuck that shit. I'm not going back.
Right.
You know? And it comes to a point where you should start to realize, like, all right, how many people were infected at the office? How many people actually came out and said they were infected at the office? So now it's just like, now it's just all nerves. Now it's just everybody's on their high horse or whatever, saying.
Now everybody's paranoid about the fact that, oh, well, here you have this virus. You know, I had a really bad cough back in December. Maybe that was the coronavirus. And now I feel better. Why are we focusing on the amount of people dying? Because people are dying.
I mean, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, we could, yeah, like, you were you sick at some? I don't remember if you weren't sick. You don't get sick that often.
I don't get sick that often. No.
No, you don't.
Like if I get sick, it's probably like I got a cold or like my.
Did you have a cold like in 2019, late 2019, around the holidays?
No, I haven't gotten sick in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's due a lot.
To me.
Yes, to you, a lot to the fact that you've gotten me into teas. And by teas I mean tits. No, I mean teas as in the drink. Like hot teas and the hot toddies are amazing because there's been times that I've gotten sick, and you make me a hot toddy, and the following day I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, and I make you that special chicken soup.
But the flu.
Yeah.
The last time I caught the flu was like, it's 2020. I really want to say 2017.
We were dating in 2017.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that day?
yeah.
Remember that day that I just collapsed on the bed?
Yeah.
Like we were doing something and I just boom, it was just.
Not that thing, but we were doing. You had a fever and.
Yeah, you were on the computer and we were like, I was reading something and I just collapsed and you're just like, you started laughing because you thought I was doing something. I'm like, no, something is not right here.
Yeah, and I thought, and you said, and you were worried about pneumonia, and
Yeah.
I had to take off like a couple of days from classes so that I could stay and take care of you.
Yeah, that was the last time.
And my mom panicked.
Yeah, that was the last time that I was truly sick. And
Right.
yeah, have I gotten sick since then?
No.
Sure. Well, yeah, like minor things,
Like
you know,
one or 2 days.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days, or something to do with my cardio, an issue that had to do with my cardio, or when I thought I had like heart a heart problem.
Like a heart palpitation.
Yeah,
And
and it just so happens that it's just my blood sugar was low.
yeah, and then the doctor turns to me like, so why is he really here at the doctor's office?
But yeah, but like a lot of it has to do with you because you got me into that. But a lot of it has to do with like what I eat, what I avoid, um, things that like I say this is not good for me. I'm not gonna eat it, or it might be good for me, but in small chunks. Or sometimes, and I know you hate this, I just happen to put a piece of garlic in my mouth.
It's just that it's a like garlic. It's very intense when you eat it raw. That's why.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good for cholesterol and it's also good for your throat.
I understand, but I would rather take the garlic, and rub it on a piece of toast and eat it like that.
Yeah, but
It's
I
the
mean, yeah, but now actually that's not so bad because now you have the toast, which is good it's a good use of penicillin.
hmm
You know.
And also, it's like good for your digestive tract.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot has to do with that, like
hmm
just studying what food is good for your body, what causes your body to, like you question a lot how I poop. Yeah, it's funny, but like sometimes you're like, holy shit, you pooped like 8 times today. It's like, yeah, what? That's normal for me.
hmm
Like what's not normal for me is when I poop once a day. That scares me.
Mm.
When I poop 8 times a day,
You sound like my dad.
Yeah.
If my dad doesn't poop like at least 3 times a day, it's a
I
problem. If
to
he
me,
hears you don't poop 3 times a day, he goes nuts. He's like,
well,
What's
it's like
wrong?"
it's like you're keeping garbage in your system,
Right.
right? So after some point, that's like 12 pounds of garbage that you have in your system.
But the thing is that the body is still like the reason why you don't poop sometimes is because the body is still taking in nutrients from
Yeah,
the
but that sometimes mean that you ate something that your
The-
body is still trying to digest.
right.
Like that's one of the reasons why I've told you this in the past. I don't like to eat too much rice unless it's brown rice.
Right.
Or like what's the other thing? Like red meat. I don't like to eat too much red.
Street?
Yeah, street
What's street?
red meat.
Oh,
And or like depending on the amount of amino acid, I don't like to like just eat too much amino acid. But it also just depends of how your body is gonna digest certain food you're gonna eat. So if I've pooped more than 3 times, it does not bother me. You
How did
question it.
how did we get here? How did we get to the conversation of poop?
Conversation of poop of eat like the foods we eat,
Oh,
how we're
right.
staying healthy,
Yeah.
how to look out for things, just the warning signs.
Yeah, also, like, I have this cough that I've been nursing since January. So
Mhm.
some people would think, like, oh, well, could it be? And I'm like, no, because I've had it since January. And I haven't had any other symptoms. It's just that. It's just the cough.
I'm only laughing because when you told me when you coughed in front of that lady or next to that lady,
Oh,
she
on the
got
train.
scared.
I was on the subway on my birthday. I had a doctor's appointment on my birthday. And this lady, and I just got out the doctor to treat the very thing that I have. So I cough, and some old lady looks at me, and she's like, she looks really scared. And I'm like, and in my head, I want to tell her, like, look, lady, you're going to die before I do. So
You're gonna die anyway.
You're going to die
You're
anyway.
just gonna die. Oh man, it keeps bouncing. Man. You're gonna die anyway, so.
So, like, no, not to laugh at that, but she was getting on my nerve. Like, she seemed, like, very uncomfortable. I could understand why one would be uncomfortable about that, but also, you live in
Yeah,
New
but
York.
this happens anytime. Like what was? I think it was when
SARS.
SARS came out, right? When SARS came out, and you sneeze when you were in the subway and you sneeze, people were like, "Holy shit, what the fuck? What's going on?"
Everybody
and then
panics,
as soon
yeah.
as soon as this went away, everybody just started coughing, sneezing, and it was just fine to be around a
They
person.
would do it on
Like
purpose.
you would make out with the person if they were sneezing or coughing.
Like, they're
Right?
still hot.
Yeah,
Come over
and
here.
now it's the same thing. It's
Right.
like, all right, it's flu season. So obviously it's flu
That's-
season.
And allergies. A lot of people
Yeah.
are going to be coughing like crazy.
Yeah, and
it's
I
gonna
got
be like,
allergies all over the place. So my
Yeah.
nose is constantly like bothering the hell out of me. So now you're just like, oh, is it the COVID? Is it the
No.
COVID? Yeah.
it's not the COVID. It's just allergies. And that's what's really sad. And that's what's really scary. And the fact that we all can't just go and get tested, that's the part that really is upsetting me. Like, if it was like, if mass testing was available, like everybody could just go get tested, it would actually be great because that way we could all figure out what's wrong with each other, and we could actually do a better job at isolation and treatment and all that stuff. But again,
here's a question: if by self testing, you mean at home, like we tested and we checked the whole chemical reaction and all that, or we
yeah,
have to send it to the lab?
send it to the lab,
So
like,
so
or
all right,
you open up more testing facilities.
okay, so
Like you could run to urgent care. We could run to the urgent care here, set up an appointment, run to urgent care, get tested, and then the test is ready in like 10 minutes, and then,
okay, but no, here's an idea. You remember how you were reading the sexual orientation by the New York City Health Department during
Uh,
the COVID?
oh yeah, the COVID,
right?
yeah,
So
not sexual orientation. It was a memo talking about sex in the COVID
it was a
crisis.
sexual orientation, all right? Don't get it twisted. That's what they were trying to get at. They were probably saying that at school they're not teaching you shit, so we're gonna do the job.
Stop
All right.
rimming.
So
Don't eat the
so
booty.
rimming, right? Okay. So it says on that particular memo that shit has the virus.
Mhm.
Your poop has the virus.
Right.
So why can't we just grab a piece of paper, right, and then put some of the poop on that piece of paper and we send it to the lab? That's how they do it with the nowadays
With the colon thing.
the colon thing.
Yeah.
You know,
So you want poop all up in the mail right now.
we're in a pandemic. We're in a pandemic.
That's gonna be even worse.
Who gives a shit, dude? It's like there are no answers. Everything is blind. We're running on blur right now. We're running out of focus, like the newscast is doing. It's like we're like everything is out of focus, and you're just making a mock out of it. That's
Yeah.
how we're doing.
We're flying with our
You know,
heads
everything
cut
is
off.
look how everything is green on all channels. Nothing is making sense. That's how we're running. That's how this whole system is running.
Angel works at a job where he has to look at color temperatures all day, so that's why he's telling you that everything is green.
It's like
I don't know, those press briefings be looking blue. Like,
better look blue than green
I
or
don't
yellow.
know, that thing look blue.
It's better to look green
I
than
understand
yellow.
that the background is blue and he's wearing blue, but I'm like, that's a little too much. Why
Listen,
is his skin blue?
I rather it look blue.
Like
not
you'd rather look like a
not
Smurf?
not Smurf blue, but like have that little bit of cool
Rigor
to it.
mortis blue?
Not rigor mortis blue, but have a little cool temperature feel to it. Then it look green
Then you look
or
sick.
saturated yellow. Like what is that? That's not airable. That is not airable.
Well, in a pandemic, it is.
Apparently it is in a pandemic.
Then maybe that's what you need to do.
But going back to my point, like if we if it's on your poop, put it on a piece of paper and send it over there. Hey, and then
who's gonna dig in their poop?
huh?
Who's gonna dig in their
Oh,
poop?
come on. Everybody digs in their poop once in a while. They probably just stick up their finger and be like, does this even feel good? Oh, shit, I got poop in my finger. What? Oh, come on. Like you've never done it.
No.
You're right. Oh,
No.
like you've never wiped your ass and like the paper just happens to break and then all of a sudden your fingertips are filled with shit? That's never happened. That, really? Yeah, right. That's happened to everybody. That's happened to everybody. Yes, that's happened to everybody because everybody has had vomited shit. They vomited shit through their asshole and it's wet and then you go to wipe and then the fucking paper just breaks and you're there like, ah, man, now I gotta use more paper, but now my finger smells like shit. God damn it. I gotta wipe my fingers, do another roll, wipe again, and then you want to wipe it a certain way.
I'm gonna change our children's diapers. You head
Good.
that up. You
Good.
head that up. You head the changing of the diapers.
Why do I have to head
Because
the
you're
change
used
of the
to
diaper?
holding poop, so you do that.
I'm not saying I'm used to holding poop. I'm just
It
saying
sounds like you
it just so
are.
happens.
It sounds like you are.
Oh,
it
come on.
sounds like you are.
It's just so there's nothing wrong with that. You're a human being.
The title of this episode is the poop episode.
Yeah, the poop episode. There's nothing wrong with this. You're a human being. Once in your life, you're gonna touch your own shit and you're gonna be like, what the fuck? God damn it. What did I just do? And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna smell it. Because that's what you do. this your reaction. Here's this the funniest shit. Like your reaction is you're gonna wipe and then the paper breaks and you're like, ah, now I got shit on my finger, and then you just like put it so close to your nose that you're like, does this smell? Oh man, it smells. God damn it. So now you gotta wipe, and then you gotta wash your hands.
I'm gonna move on to the next topic
I'm
because
just
you're
saying.
a little too knowledgeable about this.
I'm knowledgeable.
I don't know
just,
what happens when
yeah,
that bathroom door is closed.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a lot happening when the bathroom behind that bathroom
When you're in a
door.
relationship, you're not supposed to close the bathroom door. So
There's a lot happening behind that closed door. There's apparently a lot. And maybe I'm gonna need to Clorox the whole bathroom at this point.
Maybe you should, but I
Maybe-
do wash
maybe
my hands.
after you go to the bathroom, I'm gonna have to bleach
Why?
down
I
the
wash
whole
my
bathroom.
hands.
Okay.
Why? I'm not like some people that just like, no, I only wash my hands after I poop.
No, you're always supposed to wash your hands because also you're supposed to
there's
put the
people like
toilet
this.
lid down. You're supposed to put the toilet lid down because if they're saying that COVID is in fecal matter and then you go to the bathroom and you know how people tend to like they poop but they'll flush the toilet but the lid is up.
What?
When people flush the toilet, they leave the lid up. They don't close the lid before they flush. I know.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. That's disgusting. Like please, like close the lid because now they're saying that if COVID is in poop, that means the remnants are still going to be there. So when you flush, it's the toilet sneezes and it's going to get all over the place, including on your toothbrush and stuff. And that's just gross. And people
Wow, you're very particular there.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna jump. It's
Also,
gonna jump.
it's bad feng shui. Also, it's bad feng shui to leave the toilet lid up.
How do you know it's not good feng shui?
It's bad feng shui because what happens is like it drains all the good energy down the toilet. That's why you're not supposed to have. That's why in feng shui you're not supposed to have leaking, no leaky faucets, and you're supposed to leave the toilet lid down. You're not supposed to have leaky pipes because all of that drains. Because all of that just drains it away.
What about if you gotta pee?
No, if you pee, it's different.
You're leaking your pipe. No.
Okay, so what's going on with Zoom,
You're
dear?
not leaking your pipe.
What's going on with Zoom?
So
Because apparently
Zoom.
you bought Zoom.
Yeah,
stock.
I bought Zoom stocks and I sold them in 3 days. And I was like, fuck this shit. So and then the funny part is it happened the day that I bought them. Like the day that I decided to buy them.
Oh yeah, the FBI or the CIA, one of the intelligence
Well, the
agencies
FBI, yeah.
cited like privacy concerns
That
because people
and they
apparently
needed to do
bomb
an investigation on it and everything. It's just
because
what the hell?
because apparently when you're having like your little group chats on Zoom, people could just like walk right in and be like this.
So Zoom is like the Microsoft Skype
Yeah.
video conferencing or
Yeah, it's the
video
new one.
calling.
It
app.
replaced Uvu.
I don't know what that is.
Well, nobody knew what Uvu was except me. But Uvu was this video service, and you could have like multiple people on. It's kind of like Tiny Chat.
Okay. Yeah.
And Zoom became the trendy one, and everybody's been using it, from people in offices to when you're with your family. Actually, the New York City
even actors started using it to do
Yeah.
like some
Table
scenes
reads,
or whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah. Not even that, but like scenes. They actually started like this little thing
Oh.
where they did like scenes on them. What?
Oh, I just remembered. The cast of The Nanny, they're gonna do a table read of their pilot episode today. I'm excited.
Okay.
That's exciting. They're gonna do a
Like-
table read of the pilot.
Of the nanny?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, they're
I wonder
reading.
how they're gonna act that out since it's been like what 20 years.
They have the scripts in front of them, and then they're just.
No, I understand, but I wonder how they're gonna. Well, they probably did it already. If it's today, they probably rehearsed it today.
They've been rehearsing it for like
If it's tomorrow,
today.
today, Monday.
Yeah, the 6th.
Okay, so they probably rehearsed it yesterday, Sunday,
Yeah.
and then they were like, all right, cool. So,
We got this.
but it would have been interesting if they did not rehearse it.
Oh, they just like ad-libbed
Yeah,
or
and then-
improvised?
and improvised it. Like that would have been. Since it's been over 20 years, it's been like what 30 years.
Yeah. But I'm pretty like the thing is that with the nanny's like writing has always been like it doesn't it's pretty timeless, and they've been very sensitive to things. Like I rewatch episodes of The Nanny, and none of the jokes are like, oh, you can't get away with that.
You know what would be cool? That
Don't say the Golden Girls.
sure.
They're all dead except Betty
No,
White. That's
no.
gonna be weird.
No, okay, but like what I was getting at is that you know what would be cool is that, and this is something that I wished Big Mouth had done. when they did the opening, like I guess the opening,
The opening song.
not the opening song, but like, you know, what's the fuck is that called? The opening thing, the opening act.
Oh, you mean the
Like, you know how,
prologue?
yeah, like how The Office does it. Like they have
The prologue.
the prank, and then they go to the song.
It's called the prologue.
Okay, the prologue. So the the Office, the Big Mouth had the prologue, and then they just dove into this. Is cue. They go like, all right, cue Big Mouth, and then they go in. They dive into
The dialogue.
the dialogue.
Oh,
But
you would have wanted somebody to go, I'm going
well, yeah, either
to
somebody started
change."
singing going through changes, or they could have just have like somebody on their phone just
Playing.
playing the thing. That could have been cool. And I think that's something they should do if they're gonna do it on Zoom or however a table read. They should do the nanny theme song.
Oh, so you just want to hear? Oh, you know the composer of the nanny. He composed a lot of like the music, the jazzy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He died of COVID.
No, really?
Yeah,
Holy shit,
like about a week and a half ago.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Fran Drescher was on her page and she was saying like, she was like she was devastated to hear that, and I think like one of the reasons that they're doing the table read is because to honor him, and also to bring a little bit of bright spot. Like Fran Drescher's really been into trying to keep everybody happy and sane. Like her Instagram is amazing. I love her Instagram. So when we were talking about Zoom, so Zoom
Has privacy concerns.
it has some privacy concerns. Actually, New York City like the New York City DOE, the DOE has said that they're not going to use it. They're going to use Microsoft, the Microsoft one.
Yeah, Elon Musk is not gonna use it anymore. At SpaceX, he said he banned it, completely banned it.
Yeah, because people are bombing them or
Yeah.
something, and it's privacy concerns. Actually, to be honest with you, years and years ago, there's another video service called Tiny Chat.
That one I've heard of.
Yeah, you could get like I think you could get up like 50 people up on the screen at one time.
Uh-huh.
So there was like maybe like 8 or 9 of us on. And then, we're just there, we're just talking, and then there was a random person that just joined in. And he was just like, and we were like, who are you? He's like, I don't know. I saw this and I clicked on it. He's like, intruder. Turns out we're all friends now. He went to our college. He went to our school.
Oh, he probably just saw something like it said Brooklyn College chat, and he just
No,
went
that
into
was the
it.
thing. It wasn't a Brooklyn College cat. It wasn't.
No, I'm saying like an example. Like
Yeah.
he said, probably just said, "Oh, this is the Brooklyn College chat." Oh, okay, cool. And they click on it to see what it is, and it was like, "Oh, look, people there, or maybe I recognize them." But that was before there were like password stuff, things
Yeah.
that were passworded.
Yeah, what I'm talking about was back in 2012, but Zoom is going through that because everybody and their mama is using it.
So yeah, because apparently I never used it, but apparently it's just, which is funny that I've never used it, and I bought some stocks on it. So
because it was because everybody's using
well,
it.
yeah, I was trying to make a little bit of money out of it, but then it just went from like it dropped 30, no, it dropped $40 in 3 days, and I was like, fuck this.
Bye.
But
I'll be upset if we find out the stock goes up.
it probably will. But
I'll be like
it
this.
probably will, but it's not gonna go up anytime soon.
True, because they still have problems.
Yeah. But
And that is the
apparently-
stock market.
apparently, let's say for example, like CIS 42 is having their Zoom class, and like the password is 0014, right? And so what turns out was that there were just people doing the password 001, 002, 003, and then until they finally got in somehow.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, so that's how they started getting in. But
how bored are you to like walk into like professors' lectures and stuff?
right, but my thing was that like, why isn't it there like a password that's like
Encrypted.
class, yeah, like an encrypted thing, and like class 44123 of XY street, or an email being sent out every day, where the password was going to be this, the password is going to be that, or is by letters, like they do now. Like it's kind of weird, isn't it? That
And they were like, Zoom was like, to counteract this, what they wanted you to do was like, they wanted you to do this thing where it's like you have to set up a password, don't give people the IP, give people the password so that they could go in, and then make sure that once you get everybody in, you lock the meeting and make sure that nobody can get in or get
Yeah,
out. And I was like, that's a
my
lot.
thing is, my thing is, whenever you're doing a passcode nowadays, it has to be 8 characters long, and it has to be like
Upper, lowercase,
upper lowercase,
special
one letter and a
character.
special character. And sometimes there's some that are go to the extreme where the special characters have to be like only 5 different special characters,
Right.
or it has to be, you need to have exactly 2 capitalized letters, not just the one. So it
And
just
your
doesn't make any
nephew's
sense.
and your nephew's blood.
Yeah. Or they'll tell you, or it'll say verify, this is the password, now verify this.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God.
So it's like,
You know,
I'm just surprised that they didn't have something like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's 2020. You know, it's not 2010. And even in 2010, they already had the goddamn fucking special characters.
my thing was always like, I hate the special characters. Like
I still hate them. It's a pain in the ass, and especially if you mistype something and then you're like, God damn it, now I gotta go
and
back.
the thing that you're in doesn't allow you to see the password. You know how it's like now it's
Yeah,
like you can see the password.
Well, that's on the phone. For some reason, the phone allows you to see the
A lot.
password.
Yeah, no, a lot of the things I sign into, like you can see the password if you want to. I guess
But
what
on the online, I mean, on the
Yeah.
computer it doesn't. But you could do it. You can do it, but not all the time.
yeah, because I was like, thank God for that. Or I just autofill everything, which you're not really supposed
That
to
I don't
do.
like.
You're not supposed to.
I've never liked that.
You're not supposed to save your passwords. But I'm just
I've
like,
never liked
I'm not gonna remember my password. I can only remember. And then you put in the right password. That's not the correct password. So then it's like, so then you go in and you reset your password. So you're like, oh well, maybe I didn't type the right password. So you type the password that you want. It's like, oh, you can't use the last 3 passwords. And you're like,
You know what I just thought about? That
What?
guy that like he got hacked. He put his social security in the commercial.
oh, the
He got
LifeLock
hacked
guy.
twice.
Oh.
That is my actual social security number.
No, he got his identity stolen 13 times.
13 times? I thought it was twice.
No, 13
Holy
times.
Shit, how stupid can you be?
Like, I'm so confident, and he had a LifeLock account.
My God. I'm pretty sure LifeLock, like, I'm not even sure if they're publicly traded. Are they publicly traded?
Ugh, you're really gonna look into it.
LifeLock stocks. What?
Yeah. What's a
Let's
go-to
see.
food? What?
LifeLock stocks. It shows us 52-week high is $24. But are they publicly? Ooh, they're bad. Their rating is 3. Oof.
Angel is over here looking at LifeLock
23.
stocks.
What's the
Tune
graph
into
look like?
505 Podcast where you get some stock tips.
Not really, not for me.
Not great stock tips,
I
but you
wouldn't
know,
even dare.
not even great stock tips. You just get the tips. You don't even have to follow them.
I
Don't worry
agree.
about it.
I don't even have to deny what you're saying.
Oh my god.
All right, not too much information. All right. So on to the next topic. What do we got? We got go-to. So what's the go-to our go-to food during this time, during the pandemic?
We've been eating a lot of vitamin C food, like a lot of citrus. We go
A lot of citrus. Yes.
We go through a lot of
citrus.
citrus.
Has gone up
in price.
in price. It's a pain.
Remember
there are
we
no.
were
Have you noticed that there? I mean, I understand, but have you noticed that there are no sales?
At all.
At all.
Nobody's having a sale.
Nobody's having a sale. Like even the garlic clove.
Yeah.
It was fucking $4.
It was $5 for a bag of garlic.
That was
Last week it was $1. And I'm like, that's you gotta report that.
Yeah.
You gotta report
It was
that.
the grapes were $7. The bags, that was crazy.
Grapes just steaks. Grapes.
Yeah, but
the whole berry.
I've never
berry.
paid, even when we go to ShopRite, we've never paid for that big ass bag of grapes for $7. The most
Because people.
four
Because people
or
are.
five.
I know why. Like garlic and ginger. I know everybody's running after garlic and ginger.
But ginger is ginger. It's a spice. It's good for your throat as well.
Yeah, it's a great, and like, but there's some other spices that are really good too. I won't share them because I'd like to buy them. I would love to. I'd love to share my pro tips, and I will on a blog one day, but not
Okay, but
now.
what's like a snack that we have right now that we're just like, yeah,
S cookies.
as cookies,
The S cookies. The
as cookies with
Stelladoro is the Stelladoro S cookies.
the Sebastian Maniscalco bit.
Yeah.
As soon as the ass cookies, you gotta dump them in the
Coffee. Actually, shout out to my mom because my mom turned me on to those when I was
to the
little.
ass cookies.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she used to always buy them when I was a kid. There would
I,
always
I
be
used
a
to I
bag.
used to have them when we were kids, but then we stopped. I think
You
my
couldn't find them.
father. Well, I think my father bought the wrong ones, and ever since then I'm like, oh, they changed the recipe, so I don't want them anymore.
And
I
then
think that was why.
and then you dated me, and
Yeah,
then you're
and
like,
you're like, oh, and then you tore them apart, and I'm like, how come I only get one, and there's 10 in the packet?
and Joanne and her mom ate ate
Yeah, yeah,
eight of them.
yeah. So I don't know. Like, go to, I would say yes, the yes cookies. Sometimes like the bag of snacks, like the fruit mix,
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
dried fruit mix.
yeah. We go through a lot of those.
Oranges, of course, fruits,
I love.
whatever fruits we can find, because now they're a little scarce. Uh,
Yeah, we gotta find a. We gotta make sure that we gotta find. Yeah, we gotta like plan out now. It's like, actually, we've been shop. We've had to shop a lot more often since this pandemic.
Not really.
I mean, we're gonna have to
Not yeah, but
because we're at
not.
home a lot now.
I understand we're home a lot, but we've also watched our. At least I've watched our intake a little bit.
Hmm.
Like if I'm gonna eat something, I say I rather eat like this little bit, and then I leave the rest for later.
Yeah.
Or if I one piece of fruit, I'll probably I'll probably eat half, and I give you the rest.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like,
Oh.
um,
Yeah, cause like one, we're trying to stretch our food a little bit,
yes.
which is something that I don't want to do, but you kind of have to. And
Unfortunately, you
also,
have to, yeah.
I think it also has to do with the fact that if we start overeating, we'll start gaining a lot more weight. You're gonna like when we get out of this pandemic, you're gonna see a lot of chunky people walking around.
Yeah,
You're gonna see
yeah,
a lot of chunky.
yeah. I mean, I always think it's a good time to start working out, but it's, you know,
It's too overrun because now it's like too many people are like,
well, no, working out at home.
yeah,
But here's the problem. Now your sleeping patterns have changed.
yeah,
Right? At least my sleeping patterns they've fully changed. I used to be able to wake up at least like because since I work late, or at least I used to work late. I used to be able to wake up at by 11, 12. Now I'm waking up at 3.
hmm
And that's because I'm sleeping later than usual. So when you wake up around that time, you're still tired from your sleep. You're
yeah.
still like, ugh.
You're also sleeping at like 5 and 6 a.m.
Yeah, but you're just like, I'm ready to go back to bed.
and you're so sleepy and lethargic no matter what you do.
Yeah,
Like
so
I've developed such a bad taste for coffee.
and I know this is gonna come out wrong, but for the past week, I've planned to just all right. Tomorrow I'm gonna work out, and it doesn't work out that way. And even if I try, it's like I don't feel like it. I just want to lay down on the floor and just relax. Let my back get some rest.
Well, see, that's been the thing because now there's a new thing online right now where people are trying to do this thing. They're trying to guilt you into being productive. They're doing the productive guilt now. So, oh, if you don't come out of this pandemic with a new skill, you totally wasted your time. And, there's also a backlash of people saying, well, you know what? People have been overworked for such a long time.
They're just taking a rest. Some of them
You could learn
like
to relax.
like Bill Burr. Like I like to listen to Bill Burr, and he's saying like, what are you like every time he comes in, he's like, hey, what are you doing during this pandemic? Are you like, aren't you glad that you're not working? I've been looking forward to this for so long. I'm not doing a damn thing. And he's like, yeah, I've been working. I've been doing prison workouts, sure, but I'm also getting some sleep. I'm spending more time with my family. I'm spending more time doing this. I'm doing more gathering of the sort with like whatever it is. I'm playing drums because he plays drums. He's like, yeah, I'm playing drums. I'm trying to keep up to like a certain song. And if you're getting sleep, that's also good. If you're reading, that's also good. You gotta take advantage, because next thing you know, you're back at work, and then you're like, God damn it, now I'm back at work at this same old bullshit.
I'd really like for there
You
to
know?
be like some sort of pandemic right now.
And I've said, and
We've
I've
made that joke.
and I've contemplated this, but I'm just like, ugh. Like I've contemplated like that, the exercising, right? I've contemplated like our languages, like oh, maybe we should start teaching each other like Spanish and Creole.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm like,
That involves doing stuff.
like it involves doing stuff, right? um, so am I taking advantage? I feel like I am. I feel like, I'm getting more rested.
Mhm.
Sure. We're spending more time together,
Mhm.
and I applaud that, at least from my behalf. I love that we're spending more time with each other. I love that we're doing things together.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, like I'm able to spend more time with my family, in other words. Like I'm able to do something, like this is a very special time. Is a very special moment for you to do whatever it is that you need to do. You just can't say, well, I'm going to sit here with my arms crossed and hopefully things will get better. Like, you just can't say, I'm going to cover my hand, I'm going to cover the sky with my hand, and that's going to take care of everything. You have to do something. Like, I've been editing. I've been doing things.
Right.
We've been like fixing the apartment. We spend time in the kitchen, like cracking jokes, discussing what's going on. We've cooked, something. We go outside. We go out for walks. We make joke. We crack people up on things.
We tend our office garden.
Yeah.
Like I got back into my writing a little bit.
Like it's just something to clear the mind, because like I've noticed, and this goes, I feel like this goes for everybody. If you stop, yes, there comes a point where you need to stop. But if you stop during this time, your mind is just gonna unravel into like a different.
I don't believe that. Like I believe that, but I also don't believe that, because there are some people that were before this point that were burnt out.
No, I mean, like,
Okay.
if you stop doing like, if you all of a sudden just stop and do nothing, if you just sit there and do nothing, if you're not watching TV, and by TV I mean like videos or some show.
Take advantage. This is why that's why I started like a campaign that said like share your passwords. If you happen to have a streaming service, like, share your password with somebody so that they can, so that they can have something to enjoy as well.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just that
like have something to look forward to.
Yes.
Like,
just make yourself a schedule. I don't know, like something.
I find myself watching a lot of like shows that I used to watch when I was growing up.
Like I the other day I was watching Beverly Hills Cop just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I was like, for some reason I'm like, I just feel like watching Beverly Hills Cop, and then I just busted out laughing because I noticed something in the at the opening scene that made absolutely no sense.
Is it
and
the
then
bus?
I called the bus, and then I called you over and like, hey babe, look at this scene. The bus just does this weird turn, and you're just like, how does that even happen?
When was the bus
and
threatened?
we saw it like I had to like rewind it. Like I was like, look at this. This is fucking hysterical. Are you kidding me?
Right. No, right. I agree with you. I mean, I've been watching a lot of the cartoons that I've always wanted to watch as a kid. I find myself actually like, since a lot of like the stuff that I grew up watching is available across streaming platforms now, I actually try to go back and I try to remember the programming schedule from when I was a kid, like the TV program, and I would try to watch the shows in that order just to get that sense of like kiddie normalcy. So yeah. Also, I spend like a lot of time. I'm starting to read a lot of books. Maybe even if it's like 10 pages out of a book.
Or even just 2 pages. It doesn't have to be 10 pages.
Yeah, and then like have a discussion with you about it. Like have like a whole conversation about it, or just take advantage. I mean, like I've seen like an uptick. I'm getting pulled into a lot of group chats, and some are really great, and then some are just like hella crazy, and we're all sharing information because we're all we're not bored, but what it is that, you know, we're looking for, we don't have to be as committed to being around each other. Like, you could just participate for like a few minutes and then you go away. You know, don't necessarily feel that you have to be social no matter what. You know, sometimes it's just as simple as like friends are like, "Hey, let's have a game night on Zoom or something." And then you show up for a few minutes and then you leave. There's nothing obligatory about this time period.
Mm-hmm.
The only sad part is like it's gonna end soon. So it's like when we're on the other side and it's gonna be
Yeah,
that last day, we're all gonna be like this.
yeah. When you get to that, well, not
Oh,
even that. Like 2 months after it has ended, you're just like, oh, remember during the pandemic where this was happening and we did this together. Remember that?
yeah. And then it's like
Oh
we're gonna
man.
try to set it up again. It's like
Yeah.
no,
No, nobody wants to do
I don't
that.
have that time. I have to work.
Yeah.
We'll all have to jump back into our routine, or maybe this could change everything. I don't know.
But it, like I said, it has changed
I
everything.
don't like.
But listen, it has changed
Well,
everything. But most people are gonna fall back on their routine,
yeah.
and some are just gonna come out of this like just swinging. They're gonna be like, nope, fuck it. It makes no sense.
Everybody's gonna
I'll
be.
work, sure, but I'm not gonna fall back on that idiotic routine that I used to have. You know,
Yo,
who
no,
knows?
no, no,
Who
no.
knows? Who knows if like some people that had vices that they were trying to get away from it, this was their way of getting out of that vice.
This pandemic did a
Yeah.
lot. And again, like I know there are a lot of people that have they lost their jobs. Like almost everybody we know right now is just like in that lull period.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody.
everybody.
Yeah. And you know, and it's kind of sad. Like I understand why some people aren't talking to each other. Like they don't want to talk and they don't want to communicate, which is fine. But I also worry. I also send like a text out to some of them and I'm like, "Are you okay?" You know, you don't have to answer me back. I don't care if you do. Just know that I reached out because nobody's reached out to me.
I reached out to you.
That's different. We're together like
Nobody's reached out to me either. Like maybe one or two people have
your
reached out to
mom.
me. No, I mean, there's been a couple of other people that have reached out to me, and I'm not surprised about that. I am surprised, however, that I haven't gotten reached out by certain people that I expected to be reached out by. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna reach out to them and say, hey, how's it going? But I'm just gonna keep it up to there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna continue on a conversation. I'm not gonna act like I care.
Let's be for real, Angel. You and I, we've been together consistently 24/7.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No,
You're saying
actually,
that like I sense a bad.
no, no, no.
I
It's just,
sense a little
it's just,
spiciness. A little
and you
spicy.
know, I don't feel bad about it. Like I've been having like, we've managed to make it work. Like some people would have been sick of each other by now. It's like I can't stand this shit. I hate this. Meanwhile, we're there like, oh, it's day whatever of this quarantine.
Well, maybe this was maybe this is a time where you're just like, this is the test. Yeah, marriage, the long run, however, 2, 10, 20 years together, 30, forever years together, maybe that's the whole test. But maybe this, right now,
Is our test?
is our test and many others' test.
Yeah.
But think about it. This is our test. We've been doing just fine.
Not just we've excelled.
I mean, we've had our many fights, of course, but we're always going to have that. That's not going to go away. But
We're not ready to kick each other out.
like it's not even about that. It's just that like there's a point where it makes sense that we're together. I'm sure there's some people that like they're together. There's some marriages that are going to collapse during this.
Yeah.
There's some marriages that are just going to collapse, and I think, I'm not sure where I heard it, but apparently in China, divorce rates skyrocketed
Oh.
during like, now that things have slowed down. Apparently, I don't know if it's true or
People
not.
are realizing I don't like my spouse.
Yeah, yeah, things have skyrocketed because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, so I would not be surprised if the same thing happens here, and I would not be surprised if there's an uncontrollable birth boom in 9 months.
And we will survive both. And we will survive both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so our go-to food is just snacks. Lots of snacks. Like
But healthy snacks.
yeah, healthier snacks. We've actually like the only junky snack we have is the S cookie.
It's cookies.
The S cookies.
It's cookies.
But that's pretty healthy because it's a good source of calcium. It says it on the bag. It's a good source of calcium.
Is it?
It says
That's
it.
crazy.
It's on the bag.
Oh. You know what I do miss? Doing voices. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, you miss
Like the
making fun
German-
of people?
Like the German
Next episode.
director.
Next episode.
And vibe. Yeah.
Oh. I just miss like cackling with the girls. That's it. That's the only major thing I miss. But you know, being with you has been great because we've been meaning to because we hadn't seen each other for like a long time, really.
We've seen each other. It's just that not as much as
It's
we
not-
would like. Like we see each
Not
other
as
every
of
day.
quality,
We see each other every day, but you know, it's just for a few hours.
but no corona babies. We're trying to avoid the corona.
My Sharona.
All right, you guys. This has been the 505 podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and catch us on the next episode.
Bye, 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 bye.
So we're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. What is that called? Google Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We're up and live. We may be brand new, but you know our service is working to permeate through the platform. So just keep an eye out. You know, and we're trying to make as many of these episodes as possible so that they're bingeable, so that you don't necessarily have to wait for the next episode. Even though we're airing them pretty like rapid succession. 'Cause yeah. All right.
Okay.
Say a thing, dear.
Thing.
Love you.
A thing. So I messed it up. A thing.
Love you lots. Miss you much.
All right, guys. Stay safe.
Wash your damn hands.
Wash your damn hands.
Stay your
and,
ass home if you can. And we'll see you next time. 505 podcast out.
Take care. Thanks for listening.